Have you ever thrown something away, believing it had no value left, only to discover it contained the most important message of your life? Before we begin, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Stories like this remind us that sometimes the greatest treasures are hidden in the places everyone else ignores. Now, let's begin. The CEO abandoned her dead Porsche, until a single dad mechanic found the secret letter inside. The rain fell steadily over the industrial district on the outskirts of the city. Rows of auto repair shops stood beneath gray skies, their faded signs swaying gently in the wind. Most people hurried past this forgotten corner of town without a second glance. For Ethan Brooks, however, this place was home. At 38 years old, Ethan worked 6 days a week at a small repair garage called Brooks Auto Care. The garage had belonged to his father before him, and although the business barely survived month to month, Ethan refused to give up on it. Life had not been easy. 5 years earlier, his wife had passed away after a long illness, leaving him alone to raise their 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Every morning began before sunrise. Ethan prepared breakfast, packed Lily's lunch, dropped her at school, and then rushed to the garage. Every evening ended the same way. Bills spread across the kitchen table. Calculations. Worries. Promises to himself that tomorrow would somehow be better. Despite the challenges, Ethan never complained. He smiled for Lily. He worked harder. He kept moving forward. One rainy Thursday afternoon, a flatbed tow truck rolled into the garage carrying one of the most beautiful cars Ethan had ever seen. A silver Porsche 911. Even covered in dirt and rainwater, the vehicle looked stunning. The driver stepped out and handed Ethan a clipboard. "Scrap order," he said. Ethan frowned. "Scrap?" The driver nodded. "Owner doesn't want it. Engine seized. Transmission destroyed. Electrical system flooded. Insurance settled everything." Ethan walked slowly around the Porsche. Something felt strange. Cars like this weren't usually abandoned. Especially not by wealthy owners. "Who's the owner?" Ethan asked. The driver checked his paperwork. "Victoria Sterling." The name immediately sounded familiar. Even Ethan, who rarely followed business news, recognized it. Victoria Sterling. CEO of Sterling Innovations. One of the most successful technology companies in the country. Worth hundreds of millions. The driver shrugged. "Guess even rich people throw things away." After signing the paperwork, Ethan watched the truck disappear down the road. The Porsche now belonged to the scrap yard. Technically. But because of an arrangement Ethan had with the yard, he could remove useful parts before it was crushed. Normally, that meant salvaging mirrors, seats, wheels, or electronics. Nothing more. He certainly didn't expect the car to change his life. 3 days later, Ethan began dismantling the interior. The dashboard had suffered severe water damage. The engine was beyond repair. Most mechanics would have given up immediately. But Ethan was curious. The Porsche seemed different. Almost as if someone had cared deeply about it. As he removed the passenger side trim panel, something unexpected happened. A folded envelope slipped from a hidden compartment. Ethan froze. The envelope was yellowed with age. Across the front, written in elegant handwriting, were 4 words. "For Victoria. Open alone." Ethan stared. His first instinct was to put it back. It wasn't his. But another thought crossed his mind. If the car was headed for destruction, the letter would be destroyed too. After several minutes of hesitation, he carefully examined the envelope. It had never been opened. No tears. No damage. Nothing. Whoever wrote it had intended Victoria to read it. Yet somehow it remained hidden. Forgotten. Lost. Ethan looked around the empty garage. Rain tapped softly against the windows. Finally, he made a decision. He would return it. The following Monday, Ethan drove to the towering headquarters of Sterling Innovations. The building looked like something from the future. Glass walls reflected the clouds. Luxury vehicles lined the entrance. Employees moved confidently through revolving doors. Ethan suddenly felt very small. His work boots were stained with oil. His jacket was worn. His pickup truck rattled every time it idled. A security guard stopped him immediately. "Can I help you?" Ethan held up the envelope. "I need to deliver something to Victoria Sterling." The guard laughed. "So does everyone else." "I'm serious." "Do you have an appointment?" "No." The guard pointed toward the exit. "Then I'm afraid you'll need to leave." Ethan sighed. This had been a mistake. But just as he turned away, a voice interrupted. "What's going on?" A woman in a dark business suit approached. She appeared to be in her early 40s. Confident. Focused. Powerful. The security guard straightened instantly. "Ms. Sterling." Ethan blinked. Victoria Sterling herself stood before him. The billionaire CEO glanced at the envelope. Her expression changed immediately. The color drained from her face. "Where did you get that?" Her voice was barely above a whisper. Ethan explained about the Porsche. The hidden compartment. The discovery. The scrap order. Victoria stared at the envelope as though she had seen a ghost. Without another word, she motioned toward the elevator. "Come with me." Minutes later, Ethan sat inside a luxurious office overlooking the entire city. Victoria stood near the window. Silent. Holding the letter with trembling hands. Finally, she opened it. As she read, tears began rolling down her cheeks. Not a few tears. Not polite tears. The kind of tears that come from years of buried pain. Ethan looked away respectfully. Several minutes passed before Victoria spoke. "My father wrote this." Ethan remained silent. "He died 20 years ago." Her voice cracked. "I thought every letter he ever left me had been found." She sat down slowly. The powerful CEO who appeared fearless on magazine covers suddenly looked like a grieving daughter. "My father gave me that Porsche before he died." She smiled sadly. "It wasn't expensive back then. Just a used sports car he spent years restoring." Her fingers touched the paper gently. "He told me there was one final gift hidden somewhere inside. I searched for years and never found it." She laughed softly through tears. "And now, after all this time?" Victoria looked up. "What made you bring it back?" Ethan shrugged. It seemed important. For the first time, she truly looked at him. Not at his clothes. Not at his appearance. At him. Most people would have sold it. Maybe. Or opened it and posted it online. Probably. So why didn't you? Ethan thought about Lily. About the values his father taught him. About doing the right thing even when nobody was watching. Because it belonged to someone. Victoria stared at him for a long moment. Then she smiled. A genuine smile. Not the corporate version she gave reporters. The smile of a person remembering there is still goodness in the world. Neither of them realized it yet. But that simple decision, to return a forgotten letter, was about to change both their lives forever. Because hidden inside the envelope was more than a message. It contained a secret that connected the past, the present, and a future neither of them could imagine. And once that secret was revealed, nothing would ever be the same again.